Hey everyone, I'm Tobi Henney and I'm here with the gorgeous Cassie. I'm going to show you how to get beautiful glowing skin. So we're going to walk you through the products and the techniques that I use to create this look. If you've got any questions, please yell them out and we'll try and answer them all for you. So I hope you enjoy. So to start off, I'm going to use Caudalie Beauty Elixir Spray. So just close your eyes, Cass. And this is a really great product for hydration. It also smells delicious. And then next we are going to hydrate the lips with Glossier's balm.com, and this is in the flavour coconut. Absolutely love this brand. It's down the road from me in New York and I'm always there testing out all the products. They do a really great range. So next we're going to hydrate the skin. I'm going to use La Mer's new moisturizer, which is in a gel formulation. So it looks like this. It's a regular creme container, but the consistency is a little bit more jelly-like than the regular. So you can kind of see it's a little bit more lightweight, so it's great in summer. So what I'm going to do is just dot that onto Cassie's skin, and then we're going to massage it in. So in summer, it's really beneficial to use something a little bit more lightweight, especially with the humidity. It just helps your foundation not to go sliding as much. So skin prep's really important to get glowing skin. I always like to use a few different products for hydration first before applying any foundation or BB or CC cream to the skin. So once we've got all that moisture locked in, the next step is to pop on a primer. So because we want glowing skin and I want it to be really golden, I've chosen to use Laura Mercier Radiance Primer. So I've just depotted mine into a little Muji container. But this colour is absolutely gorgeous and it's going to help that golden glow shine through, especially on the cheekbones. So I've got an IT Cosmetics No. 7 brush and I'm just going to buff this all over Cassie's face, and you'll see instantly how much glowier Cassie's skin is looking already. So if you have really fair skin, another great primer is the Tom Ford Illuminating Primer, but that's got more of a cooler, pearly tone to it. If you have really oily skin, it's really beneficial to use a primer with the oil-free marked on it. So Laura Mercier also make a great primer for people with oily skin. And then if you're worried about pores, the Benefit Professional, it's called, is a great primer if you want to just have a really even skin finish. Okay, so today, because we want glowy, luminous skin, I've actually chosen to use Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, and this is in the shade No. 4. And I really love this foundation, from everything from day wear to night wear, red carpet, for shoots. It's really, really lightweight. You can build it up. You can have light to medium coverage, and you can also mix them together if you're in between shades. So we're using the 4, which is a light to medium, and it's a yellow undertone. So I'm going to use the No. 7 IT Cosmetics brush again, and I'm just going to start by pressing this into the T-zone. And Cassie's got gorgeous skin, so we're not going to do a high coverage today, we're just going to keep it really light. And you'll see it just really beautifully evens out Cassie's skin tone, but it still looks like skin, so it's really, really gorgeous to wear during these summer months. And when I've popped it on with my brush, I then go in with my finger and I just use the warmth of my finger to really melt that product in. And the beauty of the product too is a little bit goes a long way. So I know it's quite an expensive product to invest in, but if you do get a bottle, you'll find it will last you quite a long time. So the number one rule too is to always bring the foundation down the neckline, because the neck's going to be the most fairest part when you're doing your makeup, because the sun's not going to hit that area. So just ensuring that you bring that down. And just check that's all blended in. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, so next we're going to conceal, and I'm using the NARS Creamy Concealer, and this is in the shade Custard, and I absolutely love these concealers. They're really beautiful and lightweight as well. You can also build them up. We use these backstage at Fashion Week, and you'll notice, just look up, they're really great for the under eye area. So if you're looking for a product to cover dark circles, I really recommend this one. It's beautiful. And it's kind of like the foundation. It really wears like skin, so it's not going to look too heavy or cakey. And it's a great one to throw on your handbag as well, and to use on the go for touch-ups throughout the day. Beautiful. Okay. So next we're going to work on the brows. I'm going to start by using a spoolie brush. I'm just going to brush the hairs upwards and then across. And that way you can see where exactly we're going to fill in. So we're going to do a medium brow for Cass today, because she's blonde brunette. We don't want it to be too dark, but then we don't want it to be too blonde either. We want it to have a little bit of definition. So I've actually got two brow pencils. These are by MAC Cosmetics. These are the eyebrows. And I've got the shades Fling, which is blonde, and Lingering, which is for brunettes. So we're going to do a little bit of both. And I love these mainly because you don't have to sharpen them. So they're a wind-up type crayon. And I'm just starting on that arch, and I'm pulling it down and just giving Cassie a little bit more of a defined end to her brow. I'm just going to feather it out so she's got a little tail on the end. And we want these two lines here to be parallel. So the top of the brow and then the lower part of the brow to be parallel. We want that arch to be nice and strong. So once I've filled it in with the brunette pencil, I'm just going to come in with the blonde and just go through that a little bit more, just to add a little bit more texture. You'll see the mixture of the two shades together look really beautiful on Cassie. I like to square off the inner brow as well, it's really important. And just turn, and then we'll do the other side. And so we're just focusing on that arch, and just pulling that out and feathering out the tail. And then once I've filled in the brows, I always like to set the brows with a gel. So gels are a really great product to finish your brows off with. So you can use a clear gel, or if you want a little bit more texture, you can actually use a gel in the shade of your brows. We're just going to add a little bit of blonde to that one. Beautiful. It's always really nice once you've put the product in the brows just to comb through it. I like a really natural fluffy brow, so by brushing through it, it's just going to disperse the product, and it's going to make the brows look more natural rather than filled in. So next I'm using the Glossier Boy Brow, which is a really popular brow product. And this is just in the clear shade. I'm going to start with the inner brow, and I'm going to pull the gel outwards and just work on coating the hairs. This is just going to keep them in place throughout the day. And again, to finish, I'm just coming back in with my spoolie with no product on there. And I'm just going to comb that gel through just so it looks beautiful and natural. So that's how we do our brows. The next step before we start the eyes, we're going to curl the lashes. So I've just started using the Charlotte Tilbury lash curler, which I'm really loving. So just look down, Cass. And if you curl the lashes before you begin your eyeshadow, once you get to your mascara, you're going to ensure that you have the best looking lashes. Down one more time. So sometimes it's nice just to go in twice on each eye. Lashes are so long. Alright, so because we're doing a beautiful bronzy glowy eye look as well, we're going to start off with a cream base, and I've chosen to use Tom Ford's Platinum, and this is a cream shadow. It's a beautiful, beautiful golden shade. Let me just close, Cassie, and I'm just using a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to do a wash of that all over the lid. And this is going to help later when we apply the shadow. So I find when you use a cream and then a powder, it's just going to help your eyeshadow stay on for much longer. The beauty of the cream shadows is you don't have to worry too much about the placement, as long as you're just getting it on that lid area. But it doesn't have to be perfect. And then you can just go over it with your finger just to blend out any edges. And just open. And there's your eyeshadow base, which is really pretty on its own if you're in a rush. So I'm going to use some MAC eyeshadows today. I'm going to start off with the crease. So I'm going to start with a mixture of charcoal brown and cork. Just look straight ahead. I'm using a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to put a little bit of shading into Cassie's crease. So this is just going to give the eyelid a little bit of definition. This eye look's not going to be too heavy. It's going to be quite natural and wearable in the day. Now I'm coming in with cork. Just look down. You just want to use that fluffy brush in windscreen wiper motions. Just straight ahead. Then we're going to get that same shade in the cork and look up. And now I'm just using a flatter edge brush. I'm just going to run that under Cassie's lower lash line. So it's just going to give a little bit of shading to the eye underneath. Beautiful. Okay, so next we're going to do the lid colour. One of my favourite MAC Cosmetics eyeshadows is Woodwinked. It's a beautiful golden bronzy metallic shade. And I'm just going to do a beautiful wash of that all over the lid. open. Beautiful. Okay, so next we're going to do a soft liner. We're going to do a chocolate brown over a black. I really like to use chocolate browns, metallic browns if I'm doing a day look and we want a little bit of enhancement around the eye. So this is Tom Ford Eye Kohl and this is in metallic mink. Cassie's just going to close. And the finish on this eye liner is just divine. It's beautiful metallic, bronzy colour. I'm doing a really, really fine line on the upper lash line. I'm just pulling it out on the wing just ever so slightly. So just open and look down now towards me. And we're just going to bring this into the inner eye really softly. Look straight ahead and close. It's always nice to warm up the product on the back of your hand before you apply it, and that's just going to make it go on a little bit more smoothly. And so from here you can keep the liner as is, or you can come in with a brush and smudge that out if you want a little bit more of a smudgy liner look. So next we're going to apply mascara. I'm going to use one of my favourite mascaras, which is by Benefit Cosmetics, and it's called They're Real. And so this has the most incredible brush. You can see it's spiked all up the sides and on the tip. So you can apply it like this, or you can twist it this way, and you can apply it like that. And especially on the bottom lashes, it's really handy to use. I'm applying mascara with my MAC Cosmetics fan brush, which I always use on my clients. So just look down, Cassie. And I'm going to lift the lid. I'm going to coat the lashes top and bottom. I'm going to really work on pulling them upwards. The other thing I love about this mascara is that it's super, super black. So if you keep applying it over and over again, you're going to get really, really dramatic, strong lashes. Down. Open. So if you get any mascara anywhere, you just need to get a dry cotton tip and just take it off like that. Beautiful. Okay, so now we'll do the other eye. Down. Beautiful. And then we're going to do the lower lashes. So it's really important with the lower lashes just to enhance that separation. Beautiful. Okay, so again, just coming in and off anything that we've marked with cotton tip. These cotton tips are from Muji, so they're really, really fine cotton tips. They're great to use for makeup application, cleaning up mistakes. Sometimes I just go in with it and just run a cotton tip across those bottom lashes just to give them a little bit more separation. Beautiful. Okay. So now we're going to finish the eye with some highlighting, and this is a Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. And I'm just using the highlight shade, which is a really pretty golden colour. Just close, Cassie. And I'm using her shader brush, which is this one. And I'm just going to highlight the inner eye area. And I'm just going to pull that into the eyelid a little bit as well. Just open that up. I'm also just going to put a little bit on the center of the eye, just to do a little highlight. And then finally, a really small amount just under that end of the brow bone. Beautiful. So next we're going to do some shading work, or contouring as you might know of it. And this is Tom Ford's shade and Illuminate. And so this is in intensity 2. I'm using a duo fiber brush from MAC. And what I'm going to do is just create some shape around Cassie's cheekbone area. So I'm just going to pull that product from the top of the ear down towards the mouth area. I'm going to put a little bit on her temples and a little bit just on the jawline, just for some shading. I'm also going to put a really small amount just on the side of her nose. And then we're going to do the other side. Shading work doesn't have to be complicated. I know sometimes you see people doing it and it's really heavy and a little bit overdone at times. But if you just softly use products, you can still get a really beautiful effect. And so to make it really seamless and natural, we're going to come back in with that same brush that we used the foundation with, and we're going to blend that product in. So we're going to fuse the two together. And I love this Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate product because it's so beautiful and natural. It's not too orange or too red. Beautiful, beautiful tone. So it comes in 2 shades depending what colour your skin is. Okay. So next we're going to use the Illuminate shade on the top. And again, I'm going to use another MAC Cosmetics Duo Fiber brush, and I'm just pressing that in to the tops of Cassie's cheekbones to start with. And I love this Illuminator shade because it's kind of like a see-through glassy effect. It's super, super natural. We use it on shoots all the time, but it doesn't have a lot of sparkly pigment in it. It's quite see-through. That on to the tops of the cheekbones. I'm going to put a little bit on Cassie's Cupid's bow and a little bit on the center of the nose. Okay, so one of my favourite combos for highlighting is to do the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate to start with because it's a creamy product, and then I like to set that in place with a powder highlighter. So I'm coming back in with my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, and I've got a fan brush this time, and I'm just sweeping that on the tops of the cheekbones to start. And I absolutely love this golden shade. It's so pretty. It looks great in photos, it looks great in the sun, in natural daylight. A little bit on the nose, a little bit on the Cupid's bow. Beautiful. So I'm going to come back in and just give a little bit of, do a little bit of smudging work on this eyeliner, just so it's a little bit more natural. And so this is a Marc Jacobs Beauty makeup brush, which is really, really soft. Just open. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're getting towards the end stages of the makeup look. Next we're going to apply some blush. So we're going to use this Charlotte Tilbury, and this is Moon Beach Stick, which is a creamy blush shade. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pop that onto the apples of Cassie's cheekbones. I'm going to use my fingers just to press that in. So if you're doing a golden glowing look, I think a peach tone blush looks really, really pretty mixed with the bronzer. So just make sure with creams you just blend them out so there's no harsh edges. Beautiful. And I've also got this Lavender Lure Tom Ford Cheek Duo. I'm just coming in with my fan brush and I'm just going to sweep this just across the cheeks as well. A really pretty finish to it. Beautiful. And next, because we want this look to be super bronzy and glowing, we're going to apply some bronzer. I can get this open.
I suck at opening things.
It's a beautiful case.
Hold on. How do you open it?
Ah, there we go.
Okay.
Okay, this obnoxiously sized bronzer, which is really beautiful. So this is in the shade Gold Dust. It's got a little bit of gold through it, so I want to go too heavy with this one. It's not a matte bronzer. And what I'm going to do, this is a Charlotte Tilbury brush. I'm just sweeping that in the exact same spots where I put the shading work before. So just on the temple, just on that cheekbone, and on the jawline. Do the same to the other side. Just a little bit on the nose. Okay. So next we're going to line the lips, and I'm using Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk lip liner, which is a really beautiful nude shade, and it's going to be quite similar to Cassie's natural lip colour, which is what we want. Sometimes if I want the lipstick to stay a little bit longer, I will use a lip liner all over the lip. I'll just lock the lipstick in place a little bit longer. Okay, so we're going to use a Tom Ford lip combo. We're going to start with the lipstick, and this is in the shade Lust, which is a beautiful rose pink shade. Together, beautiful. And then I'm just going to put a hint of gloss in the center of the lips. So this is Tom Ford Spanish Pink lip gloss. I like to do a gloss in summer. It's nice and fresh. Beautiful. And finally, to finish the look, we're going to powder the T-zone with Charlotte Tilbury's powder, and this is in the shade number 2, which is the medium. I'm using a Rain Morris makeup brush, which I love. I'm just going to pat down the center of the forehead, all the areas where we don't want to shine. Just under the eyes, around the nose, and on the chin. We want to keep everywhere else really glowing. So there you have it. That's a finished glowing skin look. If you have any questions, please leave them below and I can answer them later on. Thanks so much for watching. See you later. Yeah.